Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and this is my review for Saltburn.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy. Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
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 Don't make me destroy you.
So, Saltburn, directed by Emerald Fennell, who previously directed the rather enjoyable Promising Young Woman, has brought this strange tale of what essentially amounts to a class privilege sort of case study, if you want to call it such a thing. It follows a young man called Oliver Quick, who's played by Barry Keoghan. Forgive me if I've pronounced that name horribly wrong. I'm having problems pronouncing actors' names recently. And he is struggling at Oxford University. He finds himself drawn towards a charming young man called Felix Catton, who in turn invites him to stay at Saltburn, which is like a family estate. Sprawling, massive family estate, and over the course of the summer they engage in multiple parties, activities, and then it all just goes fucking weird. It goes from zero to weird in less than 10 minutes. The acting is pretty good throughout, I have to say that. I'm not sure about Barry, to be honest. I've seen a few things with him, and he doesn't really sort of do anything for me. But that's just is what it is. But beyond that, you've got Rosamund Pike in this film, who is exceptional. So the guy who plays the butler in this film, I don't know his name. Should have looked it up, but superb character acting throughout, and you get a sense of that in this film. Richard E. Grant is as perfect as you could possibly imagine in this film as well. But the problem is that I have with this film is that I'm not sure what it's trying to be. I really don't know what it's trying to be. Is it a comedy? Is it a dark comedy? Is it a drama? Is it a mystery thriller? Is it a horror? I'm not sure, and I don't think the film knows either. It flits between these numerous genres without really settling on what it wants to be at all, at any point. In fact, this film just becomes, as my good friend Mr. Nathan Smith so eloquently put, just a film about Barry Keoghan putting things in his mouth. And that's the best way I can describe it. There are shock tactics in this film to gain a reaction from you. And unfortunately for me, I feel that the acting is more than the sum of the rest of the film. And I think these shock tactics within the film, that I'm not really going to spoil too much. I'm not going to get into anything apart from the end scene, but we'll discuss that in a second. I feel like the shock tactics are there because realistically, there's not much else to this film. If you boil this film down, it's the same film we've seen many times before. A young man, again, I'm going to go into spoilers right now, so just bear with me. A young man comes across something that he wants, and he gets into that lifestyle and palms his way through it, cutting through, into this lifestyle to get it for himself. You've seen it before, you have. And unfortunately, at times when this film really should be playing towards satire, it goes ultra serious. At times when it should be having, some complex thoughts, it delves into, some weird comedy that doesn't really sit right. It's an all over the place film. It looks superb. It's very well shot. The direction is brilliant. However, it doesn't have its own identity. It feels like a conglomeration of other films that have done the same thing over and over again. It's a bit of a shame. And unfortunately, when this film presents some really interesting, questionable moments, within the psyche of, the main character. Are we supposed to go along with him? Are we supposed to feel sorry for him? Are we supposed to feel sorry for these people living in this massive aristocratic estate? When we're given those little nuggets and those little slices, instead of tactfully prizing them open and letting us see them, it fucking hits you over the head with them instead. Flashes you with imagery that doesn't really work, doesn't really sit. It wears the imagery on its shirt, clear as day, with no ambiguity. There is absolutely no ambiguity, no room for question, for mystery in this film at all. You can see the outcome coming a fucking mile away. As soon as it's said, as soon as it's mentioned, one particular story plot, you fucking know what's going to happen. You absolutely know what happens because you've seen this film before. And the cherry on the cake, or at least in my opinion, the rancid icing and out of date cherry on the cake is the ending, the end scene. I'm going to spoil it here.
Are you serious?
The end scene is just absolutely fucking too on the nose. Absolutely too on the nose. The film ends with Sophie Ellis-Bextor's murder on the dance floor as Barry Keoghan is running around this estate completely in the fucking buff. I've got no issues with that. He's a very well built man in more ways than one.
So, you're obviously the big dick.
That's fine, but for me, it smacks of obviousness. It's too obvious. Murder on the dance floor while he's dancing around the estate, and what? It's too obvious. It's far too on the nose for a film that could have been a complex mystery satire. Really getting into the characters, pulling them apart and playing with them and creating this ambiguity of the outcome. No, this is what happens. This is what he does, and you know it. And now he's dancing around naked with his, yeah. Not only that, but the film smacks of just over creative nonsense where somebody needs to go, that's maybe not quite what we need in this film. And there's no greater scene than when Barry Keoghan is again strips down to the buff and essentially has sex with a grave. Yes, you heard that correct. And that was his choice. That was his actor's choice. He put that towards the director, had a close set, and they filmed it and put it in the film. Again, fine, fair enough, but in terms of what it brings to the film, you're left puzzled because again, is this a satire? Is this a thriller? Is this a dark horror? Is this a dark comedy? I don't know. Am I supposed to laugh? Am I supposed to feel some sort of pain because of what he's doing? I don't know, because I don't really understand the character. I don't really get into the character, and maybe that's a me problem. But for this film, it just doesn't do enough to justify the actions we see from him, from the main character in the film. So, yeah. And with that, I don't really know what else I have to say about this film. I really don't. Yeah. I think I'm going to leave that review there. Is it a film worth checking out? For sure. I think every film's worth checking out, unless it's absolutely dire. And this isn't absolutely dire. I think it's just didn't really work for me. And you get those films, especially around award seasons, you get those films that just don't really click with you. They don't really sit with you. And I'm not one to shy away from strange, bizarre films. I'm a big fan of David Lynch. So there you go. But this film just didn't really do anything for me. For me, it shoots itself in the foot when it's far too obvious early on in the film. So I'm going to leave that review there, and I'm going to have to give this film a 5 out of 10. It didn't really click with me at all. Like I said, the acting is really great in places. It's well shot. It's well directed. I think the setting is fantastic. There are some interesting bits in this film, but it ain't got a fucking clue what it wants to be, and that for me is a big fucking issue. So 5 out of 10. I'm going to leave the review there. Let me know what your thoughts were on this film. Did you enjoy Saltburn? Did it rub you up the right way? just like the grave scene. Let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment down in the comment section down below. Like this video if you enjoyed this video, and please do subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this. Thank you very much.